All right, the NBA is back. It was gone for like 2 weeks, basically.
2 weeks.
So it's basically back. It's back. It's preseason right now. It starts on Tuesday, right?
Yeah, the 22nd, whatever that is.
It's like the preview of the Christmas games, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Christmas games are the big games.
Okay.
They're easing us into it.
I've talked about this in our videos. I just think they should have the season start around this time all the time, but I get why people don't want to do that. I don't know. It should be fun. I know the season is shortened, isn't it? It's like 73, 72?
72 games.
72 games. Yeah, so I guess it's like last season.
Yeah, pretty much. Without the bubble.
Without the bubble. Yeah, speaking of that, I actually want to ask you about that. What do you think the over-under is on games getting canceled? Like, how many you think are getting canceled total?
I haven't even thought about that. I'll go with 18 games getting canceled total.
That's a good bet. I was going to say like 20.
Yeah.
And they're doing no fans, right? I mean, it's
no
different.
fans for now.
It's different from football because football, it's outside. So it's like you could argue to have some fans. But like in an arena, I feel like you can't.
Fans. I think the Cavs are trying to do something where they're letting in like 50 people a game, but it doesn't seem like that's going to really work out.
We're just a great organization.
Yeah, exactly. We're all for the fans.
Yeah, exactly. We won't talk about literally everything, but we do want to give some of our picks. I think the first thing we should talk about is individual awards. So I mean, six-man and most improved is not really that much fun to talk about. So we could do Rookie of the Year first. So who's going to win Rookie of the Year, and why is it Isaac Okoro?
I think that's a good pick. I think Isaac has a
go!
good chance. I think he's looked great during the preseason. He didn't have a summer league, but no one else did either. And I think he's in a situation where he doesn't have to carry the team because they have some pieces there. And he's still going to be able to put up numbers on a bad team. So I think that's a good mix for someone being able to win Rookie of the Year. My other pick is LaMelo.
I was going to pick LaMelo.
Because I think LaMelo is going to be sick too. I think James Wiseman isn't going to get enough reps.
Yeah.
I think Anthony Edwards is going to suck, and I think LaMelo is going to be really good.
No, I was going to pick LaMelo because I don't think it's going to be Anthony Edwards because I don't know if I don't know. He could be great, and it just like because everyone has so high on him, but I just don't think he's going to be that good.
Yeah.
I mean, Isaac Okoro, that'd be sick.
I think he could. I mean, I think out of the top like 10 picks, like he's got a pretty good shot.
I mean, he is the Iceman.
He is the Iceman. He's got a game winner under his belt already.
He's playing right now. Probably has like 10 steals already.
Really? Probably. I mean, he's got defensive chops. That was his calling card. That's why he got drafted.
He's making threes. People would say he was not going to be
good
at threes.
That's my one thing about LaMelo is it looks like he can't shoot.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything else looks awesome. So as long as he can, score like 10 to 12 points a game, I think he'll be a solid pick for Rookie of the Year.
Preseason MVP Isaac Okoro.
Is that who you're going with?
I'll put that in the banner.
Okay.
The rafters. We'll make a banner out of that. Next award, I think we should do Defensive Player of the Year. This one was hard for me to figure out. I honestly didn't do too much research on this. I also looked away from Vegas odds because Vegas, for the most part, is almost right on most of their picks with that. But I stayed away just to look smarter if I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to pick Anthony Davis.
I was going to pick Anthony Davis. So, all right, but go ahead. Why?
I just feel like last year he had a good case of why he should have won it last year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these awards are very, they switch. Even, like, sometimes the best person who should get the award doesn't get the award. I think Anthony Davis is going to average a double-double. He's going to just look great defensively. I think the Lakers in general are just a great defensive team. I think he deserves it. I mean, he's never won it, has he?
No.
Yeah, so I think he's going to get it this year. Unless I can't think of anyone else right now except for maybe Giannis.
I was going to say Giannis or Rudy Gobert. But other than that, I can't really think of anyone. And I kind of think Rudy Gobert's time is up. Like, people are kind of over him. And then, I mean, Draymond's old. Giannis is good, but I don't think they'll give it to him back-to-back years. Unless some, like, new big man comes out of nowhere and is just locking people down, Mitchell Robinson, then I don't think anyone else is going to give it. I think Anthony Davis is probably the best pick.
Yeah, I saw people like high on him online, like on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I think his time is due for that. That's like the one thing people said he was going to win like $1 million Defensive Player of the Year. He still hasn't done it, so
right.
I think he's due. Next award,
I guess Kawhi could win Defensive Player of the Year. If they
that is true. I didn't even think about that.
But I feel like it's not going to go to a wing for like a while, just with the way the NBA is kind of going.
I feel like the whole NBA is probably just down on the Clippers right now.
Yeah, true. They don't want to give it to them.
Yeah,
right, it's a good point.
Next award, we'll just do MVP. I think everyone thinks Luka's going to win. I think LeBron's going to win.
I was going to go with Anthony Davis.
I mean, honestly, the thing is, like last year, I argued for LeBron, and I think a lot of people, especially after the playoffs, argued for LeBron. But if you look at stats, like obviously LeBron's the plus minus is what in his efficiency. But Anthony Davis, like,
Yeah.
Their stats are crazy.
Right, I know. He puts up like crazy numbers too, so that's why I was going to go with him. I think you could see someone weird. I don't think it's going to be Luka. I think he's, going to be good. I don't think he's going to put up MVP caliber numbers. It could be weird where someone like Dame has just like a crazy year, or Trae Young averages 40 points on like a Hawks team that wins like 50 games and they give it to him. I don't think that's going to happen. That's just like throwing something out there. But no, I think AD's a good bet. LeBron's a good bet. Steph coming back healthy.
Yeah, with MVP is
KD.
It's just MVP is so confusing to me because like they like switch up what they want to give the award for. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, like this player had an incredible season, we'll just give it to him. Oh, he's the best player on the best team, we'll give it to him. So like I could see them giving it to LeBron for being the best player on the best team, even if he doesn't put up crazy numbers, because that has happened recently. But I think like the one example is when Westbrook won and he put up insane numbers, but their team wasn't really that good.
Mm-hmm.
So like I could see that happening again, but I just don't know who they would give it to in that sense. Maybe Luka, because like the Mavs are gonna be fine, but I don't think they're gonna have the best record in the league.
Right.
So I'm thinking of LeBron because it's I don't. It's one of those things where I think maybe people are starting to realize he should have at least one more.
Right.
So they might just give it to him unless he's awful this year, but it doesn't look like he's going to be. So
yeah.
That's just my pick.
I think I don't know. I think I picked Anthony Davis. If it's someone from the East, it's probably they're going to be KD or Jason Tatum. So.
Do you think Giannis could three-peat?
No, I think people are kind of bored of it. I mean, he's as great as Giannis is, and I mean, I'm a huge Giannis fan. I don't think they're going to want to give it to him 3 times in a row, and I don't think he can have a much better season than like 30, 13, and 6, whatever he averaged last year.
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
I think there's regression that's going to happen regardless, and I think if he takes a step back to the field, it's going to be hard to give him MVP again.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think people are sick and tired of that. I mean, I wouldn't be tired of it if they gave it to LeBron like 4 times in a row, but...
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Let's
do worst team.
Let's do worst
Worst team? Okay. Go ahead.
I think the worst team is going to be... Gosh, I didn't really think about this. I don't want to say the Knicks, but it might be the Knicks.
No, Obi Toppin's going to lead them to at least 30 wins.
30?
Take it to the bank. I think the
30?
Knicks
even the shortened season?
I think... Oh, true. No, I got it short. I think the Knicks go in 25 games this year.
I guess I could see that. I mean, they only got better, so...
Yeah, they got Obi.
I don't want to say the Cavs. It's not gonna be the Cavs. Dumb fucking thing to say, Dave.
It's not. I don't think it's gonna be the Cavs.
I was gonna say the Hornets, but like, Gordon Hayward might be out for a while.
Oh really?
He like broke his hand.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It happened today.
Okay, maybe it will be the Hornets then.
Who are you gonna say?
The Pistons.
The
Pistons are going to be so bad this year.
Sorry, Kev.
Sorry, Kevin.
And Charlie.
Dude, every move they made was like absolutely absurd. I don't think they have a guard, or I guess they drafted.
He's gonna be pretty good.
Killian Say's going to be good, but that's a steep learning curve for a guard in his first year. And then I don't know if they have a player on their team that's like under 6'10". Like they got Jeremy Grant. He's good on a good team. I don't think he's going to be a needle mover on a bad team. I mean, Blake Griffin's getting old.
They need to get rid of Blake Griffin.
Yeah, good job.
Blake Griffin's great, but they need to get rid of him.
Good job for getting rid of Christian Wood, because I don't think he's going to be that good either. I think the Pistons are like literally just very openly tanking. I think they're going to win like 12 games.
Yeah,
all year. They're going to be horrible.
I didn't even think about the Pistons. I'll pick the Pistons too.
Yeah.
Because it was weird because like they were in the stage recently of like recent seasons of like flirting with an 8 seed spot, and now they realize they're like
back in.
We're done.
Yeah, they want nothing to do with
we're
it.
done.
They're going all in on a tank.
All right, next I think we should talk about most surprising team. The thing that sucks about talking about this is I feel like even if you say a team that's like gonna be good that wasn't good last year, I feel like it's not that surprising because everyone thinks the same thing.
It's like everyone thinks the Hawks are gonna be good this year.
Yeah, I don't think. Maybe. I don't know. Mine, I know you're going to disagree with me. I think it's going to be the Suns. It's so basic of me.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's going to pick the Suns.
Yeah, I think the Suns are going to fall back and be pretty bad. I think like people are going to think they're hot off going undefeated in the bubble and they got Chris Paul. But I just think the organization is run poorly. Devin Booker's good, but like if you look at how stacked the West is, I think there are other teams that are in line to like jump into that 8 spot in the playoffs or 7 seed in the playoffs before the Suns are. I kind of think they missed the playoffs again this year.
So that'd be your most disappointing team if you had to pick. Would that be your most disappointing team?
I guess it comes down to like define most disappointing.
I was literally thinking that when I was getting ready for this video because I was sorry to like jump subjects, but I was gonna say maybe the Nets because their expectations are finals. I
Yeah,
think
finals
win
are
or
bust for
bust,
the
and
Nets,
I don't
yeah.
think they're gonna make the finals. Like, but
No.
that's a different conversation. But like,
Right.
yeah,
No, I was actually in the same vein though as a team that I think is going to perform like not as well as people think they are. Is I think the Trailblazers are like bound to take a step back.
Rope picked Dame to win MVP.
And I could see Dame winning MVP and that going one way. I just think like I feel like they've been like teetering on the edge of either being really good or really bad. And I think they might like this year might be the year where like someone goes cold for a while or someone gets hurt and they like have to take a step back to the field. So I'd say that's my like contender. I don't think it's going to do that well. As far as team that's like expected to like kind of make a jump that's going to do better, I'd say the Suns. I also think a lot of people are thinking big things from the Grizzlies, but I don't think they've made enough moves to actually like.
I think they're the same team.
Yeah, they're the same team. Except I think John Morant and Jaren Jackson are both good, but yeah, I don't think they're like ready to like move up a tier or anything like that yet.
Okay, so who's your most surprising team then?
Most surprising team. So I'll give like same like vein as like kind of two different tiers of surprising. I think one of my most surprising teams is going to be the 76ers. I think that a lot of people are really down on them right now.
Yeah, Tim eat shit hear that. Everyone's down on you guys.
Everyone's down on the Sixers, but I think, I mean, you have a lot of, obviously, top-end talent there with Embiid and Ben Simmons, and then I like that they got Seth Curry and Danny Green to help space the floor for those two. I think Doc Rivers, for all his faults, is probably a better coach than, who's their coach? Brett Brown.
Oh, yeah, Brett Brown.
I think he's a better coach. I think Daryl Morey's going to kind of, like, bring some new life to the front office, try some new things, and as long as, I mean, you can get Embiid and Ben Simmons to buy in, I mean, I think they're going to they have a lot of potential. I mean, they have a lot of defensive potential where they can switch on everything. If they get enough shooters around, they can space the floor. And if you can get those two to like actually start working well together, which it seems like they want to do, I think that the 76ers can, make a run to the Eastern Conference Finals, which would mean beating the Bucks and or the Nets, which I think would be a success in anyone's mind.
Yeah, I mean, I picked the Suns because like that's not really surprising, but I mean, they didn't make the playoffs.
It's like why I didn't want to pick the Hawks, because I think the Hawks are going to probably be the 8th seed in the East, but I think everyone's like kind of seen that writing on the wall since free agency.
Yeah, and then most disappointing, I mean, I kind of talked about already. I picked the Nets in that level of that's finals or bust for them. Even if they lose in the finals, that's not really disappointing, but I don't think they're going to make the finals. All right, finals matchup. I already said before, I think the Bucks are going to win the East. I think they're finally going to break that barrier that they've been on the last 2 years to not make the finals. I think it's shown that Giannis trusts the Bucks system now if he's re-signing with them. I think their biggest threat is probably the Nets. But like I said before, I think that probably won't work out. They might implode. And I think the Heat will probably take a step back this year. And those are the three biggest threats. I mean, maybe the Sixers, but I think the Bucks finally get figured out. Drew Holiday is a great pickup, very underrated. So they'll win the East, my opinion.
Okay. Who do you have in the West?
Lakers. I think like, I mean, their biggest threat is probably the Clippers. I think the fact that the Clippers, not to go on a little tangent, but the fact that like all this shit came out about Kawhi and Paul George, like who the fuck would want to play there?
Yeah.
So I think, and the Lakers are just, they made some great additions with Montrezl Harrell. I mean, they lost Rondo and Dwight Howard, which sucks. And we got JaVale McGee.
Yeah, we did get JaVale.
But
Marc Gasol's a huge upgrade on all of them.
Oh yeah, I forgot and Marc Gasol. So like, I think they're gonna win the West. I think the Clippers are their only real threat. I can't like, as the Rockets are kind of falling apart, and then I mean, maybe the Mavs. Like I don't know.
Yeah, so I think I'm also taking the Lakers in the West. I think that, like Dave said, the Clippers are their biggest threat, which there's a lot of talent there, but they're going through a lot of flux, and I just think the season's probably not going to be great for them. I think the Lakers are, really understanding what their window is now. They're making those additions. They've got guys that Marc Gasol wants to win. I think Montrezl Harrell wants to win. The guys that are there from last year are all about winning again. They have LeBron. With all due respect to the Mavs, Pelicans, Jazz, Nuggets, Clippers, Trailblazers, whoever else you want to put into the playoffs, I think the Lakers are a step above. I think they're coming out of the West. And in the East, I'm actually going to go against what Dave said. I think you've got three teams that can really win, because I also think that the Heat are going to kind of take a step back and then reload in free agency next year and jump back in. I think you've got the Bucks, you've got the 76ers, and you've got the Nets and I actually think the Nets are going to be the ones to come out of the East, which I'm pumped for.
That'd be. I mean, that's like the best finals.
That's
matchup.
like the best finals I could ever think of. You got LeBron versus Kyrie again. LeBron and KD like on an even playing field this time to see who can win. I think it'd be a lot of good basketball. You'd have Steve Kerr versus Frank Vogel isn't really like a big coaching matchup, but
I forgot Steve Kerr's
and
then
coach. And it's
or Steve Nash.
Steve Nash, not Steve Kerr. Yeah. I think it's great. I mean, I think you could have a lot of like breakout guys. You could have Harrell have a big game. You could have Karis LeVert have a big game. Spencer Dinwiddie could go off one game. I think there'd be just like a ton of like storylines that you could run with there, and you also have LeBron versus KD. Just I think playing like I said on an equal level because the Warriors was so unfair, and it could be those two just like going at it for 7 games, and I think it'd be great to see. And then Lakers win. LeBron gets his 5th ring. He's not done.
Yeah, I agree with Max. I think the Lakers would win. Though if I had to guess in the series, I'd say 6. That's always safe.
Yeah, 6 is always safe.
I'll go Lakers in 6.
I also don't want to see Giannis like get to the finals and lose. I think when he breaks through, he should just win, and I think maybe he can do that in a year or 2 once LeBron's done.
Well, I just want LeBron to win every finals.
But I mean, it sucks to see Giannis have to go through this because he's great. But
I mean, it reminds me of a particular player that stayed with a small market team and kind of struggled to get his team to the finals.
But then he left and went to Miami.
Yeah. Made the finals once, though.
Yeah, true.
So I'm excited for this season. It's weird because it seems like it just ended, which it did. I mean, I trust Adam Silver to do the right thing to get this figured out because, like I said, it is a lot of games and there's going to be a lot of traveling. There's going to be more basketball games than baseball games. Isn't that weird?
That is weird. I'm here for it, though.
Yeah, I know you are. So, the 2020-2021 NBA season. Let me know what you guys have for your picks. I'm curious to hear. And thank you so much for watching. Click here to see more of Dave's Takes.